You're in the middle of a work presentation, and suddenly, you feel like your heart is going to jump out of your mouth. The beats are so high that you're sure everyone in the room can hear them. Your hands start shaking slightly. You feel a tightness in your chest, as if someone is squeezing your lungs with force. And that terrible feeling that something really bad is about to happen takes over you. You try to hide it, keep talking, but your voice comes out a bit shaky, and you pray no one notices you're literally having a panic attack right there in front of everyone. Afterward, when it's all over, you're exhausted, as if you've run a marathon, and you wonder why your own body does this to you, why it treats a simple presentation as if it were a life or death situation. If you've ever experienced something like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling that your heart is going to explode, that you can't breathe properly, that something terrible is happening to you, even though your rational mind knows you're safe. It's like your body has a faulty fire alarm that goes off at the most inconvenient times, and you've already tried everything to make it stop. You've gone to the doctor 1,000 times, had an electrocardiogram, heard that your heart is perfectly healthy, but still it keeps triggering. You've already tried breathing deeply, counting to 10, thinking about good things, taking those natural remedies your aunt recommended, but nothing seems to work for real. What you might not know is that there's a very deep connection between what you eat and how your nervous system reacts to stress. Your body is like a very complex machine, and when you feed this machine with the right ingredients, it works in a much more balanced way. There are specific foods that have the power to calm your nervous system from the inside out, that can reduce these exaggerated reactions from your body, that can make your heart beat at a calmer rhythm, and that can naturally reduce the tightness in your chest. Today, I want to share with you 3 foods that are true natural relaxants for your nervous system, foods that you probably have in your kitchen right now, but that you might never have thought of using in this way. These aren't miracle drugs that will solve everything overnight, but they are powerful tools that, when used consistently, can make a real difference in the intensity and frequency of these episodes of tachycardia and chest tightness that haunt you so much. The first food I want to talk to you about is the banana. I know it may seem too simple, but listen to me until the end because the science behind it is fascinating. Bananas are rich in potassium, and potassium is a mineral that plays a fundamental role in regulating your heartbeats. When your body is deficient in potassium, your heart can start beating irregularly, faster, causing exactly that sensation of tachycardia you know so well. In addition, bananas contain tryptophan, which is an amino acid precursor to serotonin, the neurotransmitter of well-being. When your serotonin levels are balanced, your brain can process stress in a much more efficient way, without triggering those unnecessary alarms. But that's not all. Bananas also contain vitamin B6, which is essential for the production of GABA, a neurotransmitter that functions as a natural calming agent for your brain. It's as if the banana was a complete kit of calmness in fruit form. And the best part is that you don't need to eat kilograms of banana to feel the effects. One banana a day, preferably in the morning, can start making a difference in just a few weeks. I recommend eating it plain, without mixing it with sugar or other very sweet foods, because that can cause glucose spikes that can worsen anxiety. Before continuing, I want to ask you a very honest question. Have you ever been in a situation where you're talking to someone and suddenly you feel your heart racing so much that you completely lose the thread of the conversation and can't follow it anymore? And then you're there, pretending to be paying attention, but in reality you're totally focused on your heartbeats, counting them, trying to make them slow down just by sheer willpower. Right? My heart races in the comments if this has ever happened to you. Because when you share this, you're showing others that they're not alone in this fight, that they're not the only ones who go through this. The second food that can transform the way your body reacts to stress is oats. Oats are a complex carbohydrate that has a very special characteristic. It releases energy slowly and steadily into your body, avoiding those peaks and drops in blood sugar that can trigger anxiety attacks. Have you noticed that sometimes when you stay too long without eating or when you eat something very sweet, your anxiety seems to get worse?
This happens because your brain interprets these fluctuations in glucose as danger signals, and then it activates your entire alert system in your body. Oats are also rich in magnesium, a mineral known as the body's natural relaxant. Magnesium acts directly on your muscles, including your heart muscle, helping it to relax and beat at a calmer rhythm. Many people who suffer from anxiety have a magnesium deficiency without even knowing, and when they start including foods rich in this mineral in their diet, they feel a significant improvement in symptoms. In addition, oats stimulate the production of serotonin in the brain, creating a natural feeling of well-being and calm. A very tasty way to include oats in your routine is by making oatmeal in the morning. You cook the oats with milk or water, add a little cinnamon, which also has calming properties, and maybe some chopped banana. This will give you a feeling of fullness that lasts for hours, will keep your blood sugar stable, and will provide all those nutrients your nervous system needs to function in a balanced way. It's as if you're giving quality fuel to a precision machine. The third food I want to share with you might be the most surprising of all: dark chocolate. But it has to be chocolate with at least 70% cocoa. I know you might be thinking that chocolate can't be good for anxiety, that anything that tastes good must be bad. But the truth is that pure cocoa is one of the richest foods in nature for promoting mental well-being. Dark chocolate contains anandamide, which is known as the molecule of happiness. This substance binds to the same receptors in the brain as cannabis, but in a much milder and more natural way, promoting a sense of relaxation and well-being. In addition, cocoa is extremely rich in magnesium, that calming mineral I mentioned before, and also contains tryptophan, which, as you already know, helps in the production of serotonin. But perhaps the most interesting thing is that dark chocolate contains compounds called flavonoids, which improve blood circulation, including circulation in the brain. When your brain receives more blood rich in oxygen and nutrients, it can process stressful situations much more efficiently without triggering those exaggerated alarms that cause tachycardia and chest tightness. The key here is moderation and quality. I'm not telling you to eat an entire bar of chocolate every day. I'm talking about 1 or 2 squares of high-quality cocoa chocolate, preferably in the afternoon, when your body's cortisol levels naturally start to decrease. It's enough for you to feel the benefits without overdoing the sugar. You might be wondering how exactly these foods will make a difference in your life, how they'll manage to calm that whirlwind that sometimes takes over you. The truth is that our body is an interconnected system where everything influences everything. When you provide the right nutrients in the right amounts, consistently, your body can find its natural balance. Think of it like this: your nervous system is like an orchestra. When all the musicians have their instruments tuned and know their part in the music, the result is a harmonious symphony. But when essential nutrients are missing, it's as if some musicians are playing with untuned instruments or playing different songs. The result is a cacophony that manifests as anxiety, tachycardia, chest tightness, insomnia, irritability. These 3 foods, banana, oats, and dark chocolate, function as natural tuners for this orchestra in your body. They provide exactly the nutrients your nervous system needs to play the song of tranquility instead of the song of desperation. But I need to be honest with you. These foods aren't an instant magical solution. They're part of a broader approach to taking care of your mental health, which also includes a generally balanced diet, regular physical exercise, quality sleep, stress management techniques, and, when necessary, professional support. What I can guarantee is that if you start including these foods in your routine consistently, in just a few weeks, you'll probably notice that those episodes of a racing heart are a bit less intense, a bit less frequent. You'll notice that you can breathe a little better, that the tightness in your chest doesn't press as hard, that you can calm down a little faster when anxiety hits. And do you know why this happens? Because you're treating anxiety from the inside out. You're giving your body the tools it needs to self-regulate, instead of just trying to control the symptoms after they've already occurred. It's the difference between always putting out a fire after it's already started or installing a prevention system that prevents the fire from starting. One important thing I want to make clear is that the quality of these foods matters a lot.
Try to choose organic bananas when possible because they have higher concentrations of nutrients. Choose whole grain oats, not the instant kind, full of sugar and preservatives. And invest in good quality chocolate. Read the label. Make sure it actually has at least 70% cocoa and as few artificial ingredients as possible. It's also important to pay attention to how your body responds to each of these foods. Some people feel more benefits from bananas, others from oats, others from chocolate. There's no one-size-fits-all formula, so be patient with yourself and observe how you feel in the hours and days following each of these foods. A strategy that works very well is to create a ritual around these foods. For example, every morning, after waking up, before checking your phone or worrying about the day's problems, you can eat a banana slowly, paying attention to the taste, the texture, being grateful for this food that will nourish your body and mind. In the afternoon, you can prepare your bowl of oatmeal as a moment of pause, of care for yourself. And in the evening, you can savor your squares of chocolate as a small gift to yourself, a way of telling your body that it deserves good things. These rituals aren't just about the nutrients. They're about creating moments of connection with yourself, moments where you stop and recognize that you deserve care, that your mental health matters, that you're willing to make consistent small changes to feel better. I also want to talk about expectations, because this is very important. Don't expect that on the first day you eat a banana, your anxiety will disappear completely. The human body doesn't work like that. Think of these foods as long-term investments in your mental health. Every banana you eat, every bowl of oatmeal you prepare, every square of chocolate you savor is contributing to creating an internal environment that's more balanced, more resilient to stress. In a few weeks, you may start to notice that you sleep a little better, that you wake up a little less agitated. In a few months, you may realize that you can deal with stressful situations without your heart immediately racing. In a few more months, you may discover that that constant anxiety, that feeling that something bad is always about to happen, has started to decrease. And do you know what's most beautiful about all of this? It's that you're taking control of your health in a gentle, natural, respectful way with your body. You're not fighting against anxiety. You're creating conditions for it to naturally lose strength. It's like taking care of a plant. You don't force it to grow. You simply provide water, light, and nutrients, and it grows naturally. If this content made sense to you, if you felt that I truly understand what you're going through, subscribe to the channel. Here you'll find more strategies like this, always with care and based on what really works. Like the video if it helped you in any way, if it gave you hope that it's possible to feel less anxiety, less tachycardia, less chest tightness. And come with me on this journey. You don't have to face this alone, and you deserve to feel at peace in your own body.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell to catch the next ones. See you next time.